action-packed episode of Star Trek Discovery is upon us. Okay. Robert Meyer Burnett put it, succinctly on his Twitter feed. Okay, so Star Trek Discovery has become Buck Rogers in the 25th century. Because, Earth has now cut itself off, and the Federation, they thought they were terrorists. They left God knows where. Earth is now self-sustainable to the point of xenophobia. I think there's probably an analogy in there saying about the wall, because let's see, everyone, Michael's back on the Discovery and they act like they haven't seen her in forever. And it's only been a couple of hours since, as far as Discovery is concerned. Saru and Tilly are still in the outfits they wore to go get, on their little journey last year. So it's only been a matter of hours. Okay, so Michael's back. She's got longer hair. Whoop-de-doo. Now, Michael's been gone for a year. Okay. Now, speaking of someone who's gone through a hell of a lot of shit in more than a year, okay, it doesn't do that much, okay? You're back in familiar ground. You fall into familiar habits pretty damn quick, okay? Especially if what you've been through has been through hell, okay? It kind of goes into why we're back in Colorado. Despite, in many ways, we might have been better off staying in Florida. In some ways. But, for the most part, no. We're back up here. We're going to make a go of it somehow. By the way, if anybody is catching this and, whether Facebook, Twitter or whatever, I'm going to need a ride to Idaho Springs sometime this week because I got a line on a used Land Rover. It needs work, but it's cheap enough that, I can make do for a while. But, hit me up on that. But, back to the matter at hand. The Discovery manages to make it back to Earth. And they kind of sneak up on it. They don't just jump, right there on top, which is good, because they would have been shot out immediately. But, because, Earth is now a paranoid little citadel with, the force field around the planet and everything else, and paranoid, security forces, United Earth now. You don't need, Federation. No, we're all around. Even by the fact they got raiders that come in once in a while, like to try and steal the one. Now, I'm a little foggy on the the complete nature of dilithium, but I'm pretty sure it was not a substance native to Earth. It was something we discovered after the first warp ships are going out without and either something the Vulcans may have let us in on, or just found us. Hey, this would work if we it's kind of a little accidental thing. Had a piece of dilithium in a lab and shot some plasma through it, and hey, look what this does. Thus making it possible to go past warp 4. But the thing is, how would Earth be hoarding any dilithium if everything else was cut off? And where are they going to get it from? Because they don't have it on Earth, okay? Because I'm also pretty sure it's not. It's a natural. We've seen it mines, okay? We've seen mining colonies that do mine dilithium, so it's not an artificial, made in the lab type of thing. So it's another case of these guys who are writing this don't know what the hell they're writing about. And it's like it became completely inert. It's a crystal, okay? And the inertness, relatively speaking, is kind of what makes it work in a warp reactor. The fact that it doesn't react to the plasma being shot through it, other than focusing it, like a lens. So, But putting that nonsense aside, yes, and we do find it happened all at once, everywhere across the galaxy. And leave it to Stamets. That's impossible. Yeah, says the guy who flies the ship through the mushroom, thing. And that's all we hear about the, relative impossibility of this happening. They think they've addressed it. No, you haven't. But the big thing, in the initial scenes is everyone's saying, "Oh, it's only been a couple of hours as far as the Discovery crew is concerned." They're still trying to justify the fact that they're somewhere else now. Saru and Tilly haven't had a chance to change back into their uniforms yet, so I'm still not sure. Burnham could have grown those long braids in a year. That looks like a very lot of growth there. Now, they have loosened up Vernon somewhat. I think it's in some way comparable to when they let Avery Brooks shave his head and grow the goatee back. And able to let a little more Avery Brooks come out and stop trying to make him into a Black Riker, which is ironic because Jonathan Frakes, directed this episode, which may be why one reviewer I saw described it, well, best you can say is like a bad episode of Enterprise, which for Discovery is high praise. But, of course, Book is along, and they somehow manage to squeeze that ship into the shuttle bay and not crush everything. But it just hovers inside there and cloaks. So, for reasons. But Detmer seems to be a little more skittish these days. Just, and in this case with good reason, because we don't know what they're going to do. And sure enough, they knock out the shields in one shot. When the raiders come in and they're demanding dilithium. With kind of a big bug-eyed helmet type on, You think they're aliens. But, Burnham and Book managed to do a little, of course, disobeying direct orders and pulling off some kind of sneaky little plan. They don't really spell it out, but if you're paying attention, you can kind of figure it out that when they're supposed to be beaming because they stash all the dilithium on Book's ship, I guess, to try and hide it, because he's got a cloak, and, But I guess when they try to make a deal so that they'll just beam it all over, and and then when they beamed him over, and something on the bridge with them, here you are, got a Prezi. So, and during the course of attempted negotiations, they rip his helmet off, and he's a skinny old white guy. And find out the story there from Titan, the colony on there got they had a problem on. With their colony, and when they tried to go to Earth for help, they got shot at. So, understandably, they didn't take that well. But again, this sort of begs the question. Okay, the ships are not working. What about subspace radio, you utter morons? Subspace radio does not depend diddly squat on dilithium crystals. It's one thing that you can't get there. You can still talk to people across these, distances. And considering subspace radio, it's like, the signal goes like warp 27 or something, some astronomical figure. That's why, from the neutral zone, it'll take like 3 weeks to get a message out in a regular, with no relay stations. But from Earth to Titan, it's real-time communication, okay? So there is no freaking excuse for not knowing when, because they sent a ship to Earth and they got fired upon. Oh, we know where he stood. Then anyway, try talking and they're on the radio. Hey, this is Titan. We got problems. Can we get some help? Or anywhere else in the Federation. Hey, is anybody else having problems with the dilithium ships here? So they think they've got it all clear. Oh yes, and the Federation totally fall. And you don't know about subspace radio. This has been a fixture from the very beginning. And again, what quality there is probably just due to Frakes' direction, but the script it's still dipped in saccharin so bad. It's, that's a slow, dramatic. He did the best he could with it, but it's still, it's sappy as all hell. And I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Donatu, not Donatu. You don't emphasize the A's. It's going to Donatu. Okay. Battle of Donatu 5. Yeah. All right. But for the most part, it's like, They think they're setting up the big bad. This guy went. No, he's a tired old white guy who just wants to try and help his colony. So they finally get okay. When you find out that we get introduced to one of our non-binary characters, who they have no problem calling she. So much for that idea. But apparently she, Aria or something his name. She's carrying a Trill symbiote, even though she apparently is human. Okay, we've addressed this before. Jonathan Frakes knows this. He was the lead in the episode of that one. when the first time we meet the Trill, and Riker has to carry a symbiote for a while. The two aren't compatible. Okay? Very much so. Riker was dying. They had to get a host to the Enterprise immediately. Okay? And also, Riker had no problem accessing the memories of that symbiote, so why the hell has this chick got problems? So, another case of, oh yeah, this happened. Why didn't we do that? And, Now, it did get a little bit right there in that they would not know about the symbiotes right away. Because that was, even in Next Gen, it was the first time they ever found out what the Trills were all about. Was, oh, that's why. Okay, and then when everyone finds out about the symbiotes, it was with Riker, and them having to carry the symbiote for a while. But otherwise, it's like, yeah, John, did you remember that episode? You got to make out with Gates McFadden? Go on. Yeah. Got out of uniform for a while, got to act all crazy. I think they would have stuck out and he could have pointed this out. But again, who knows? You're just a hired hand director. Just direct the okay, fine. That's how he's lived as long as he has of this business. He when to speak up and when to. Okay, fine, your show. I'm just here to say action. But it's still, I think there is still a large amount of. I can see the Buck Rogers 25th Century thing, but also I think it's gonna be trying to, duplicate Andromeda. Are we gonna try and build? They're gonna give me on a little bit of a quest to try and find where Federation headquarters relocated to. My first thing, if I was thinking, okay, well, we start off with the other founding planets: Vulcan, Andor, Tellar, Alpha Centauri, Somehow I doubt they'll do that. They'll probably pick some out of the way, like some planet name they'll pull out of the concordance somewhere, or something off out Memory Alpha, and not check the fact that it's even a Class M planet. Probably, we relocated that down to Vega, and it'll be a snowy planet again. Guys, but. And as for they're still they're still playing with Detmer, and God bless her, she's trying, but they're not really helping the situation of making her all going, Captain, if we do this, we don't think Detmer do it. Well, Detmer's right. Listen to Detmer a little more. Okay. I gotta wonder about them. We'll take the hit. Excuse me, we just fixed this ship. But yeah, Book finally goes off on his merry way with his big fluffy cat and semi sort of, I don't know, vaguely reminiscent Millennium Falcon ship. This kind of off-kilter design. Something like eyes been bugging me for how long. And I'm still not sure where this show's going at this point. It's just sort of, but again, I'm hoping I'm right in the fact of they got season 4. Is just a way of them stretching out what they've got. It's like not shooting anymore. They've already dismantled the sets apparently. So hopefully it just means well, these last few episodes we'll just take those and make them a season 4 so you can finally fix them and make this show make sense. Because I remember hearing something about them splitting up the last bit of Discovery into another season. So again, who the hell knows when it was going to start real production anymore? But this one for all this, and Giorgio putting on an admiral's uniform, so she can slink around all haughty and stuff. But it does get a little problem because Saru's the captain. Well, she's the admiral, but she's not in command of the ship. It's kind of like Admiral Nelson on the Seaview. He's in charge of the mission, but David had, I'm forgetting his name, but David Hedison was command of the Seaview itself. So now, yeah, another chapter in the, you know, and this one, the best thing is, yeah, it was there. Congratulations, Jonathan Frakes, for managing to put a high polish on another turd. But, you know, it's still, that's where we're at, guys, you know. They want us to be satisfied with an episode that is kind of, you know, at best, bad to mediocre Star Trek. You'd think after all these years, people would get it right. But no, they're making it get it wrong and more and more and more.
There's a reason I call it shit Discovery.
Yeah. Well, the main thing is why I don't refer to it as Star Trek Discovery. In fact, I even, you know, I had it listed as, on the file folder where I was keeping the episodes. I deleted the Star Trek part of it. It's in the Star Trek folder, but it's Discovery. They confuse things too much. But I'm not even bothering to edit the titles. I'll just download them as they are. And I doubt I'll keep them for long. Whereas, like I said, Lower Decks, I'm keeping those. And I'm probably going to start rewatching them here. Because, you know, after seeing the whole thing unfold, go back and, you know, okay, yeah. So, with that, we are hoping that, you know, with the lack of contact from my case manager means that we've been renewed for another month here. Otherwise, next week we could be broadcasting from a Starbucks somewhere, assuming we can get transport. Like I said, I got a line on some kid up in the mountains has a used Land Rover that apparently has a few problems, but if it's not insurmountable, actually be cheaper in insurance on the Explorer. Who the hell knew? But we'll see how that works out. Till then, PayPal, Patreon, the GoFundMe would be nice too. No one's even bothered to look at that. Thank you very much. But Subscribe Star, any number of, you know, options listed down below. But the PayPal would be really useful, especially now because we don't know what's going to happen after this weekend. So we will talk at you later. Thank you.